On a quiet morning in the American countryside, the day begins with fresh air, golden sunlight, and the simple promise of a homemade meal. Today, I'm bringing fresh ingredients straight into my farmhouse kitchen and turning them into something warm, comforting, and completely homemade. Everything starts with simple ingredients: fresh vegetables, fragrant herbs, flour, and a few basic staples from the kitchen. Before cooking, every vegetable gets a good rinse. Fresh ingredients always deserve a little care before they reach the cutting board. Now it's time to chop everything into small, even pieces. There's something peaceful about preparing a meal slowly, just the way it was done years ago. Once the vegetables are ready, I bring them together with fresh herbs and give everything a gentle mix. Next comes the cast iron skillet. I heat it slowly and add just enough oil to get everything cooking beautifully. The moment the vegetables hit the hot skillet, the kitchen comes alive with that wonderful sound of sizzling food. I keep the vegetables moving gently, letting them cook slowly while all those fresh flavors begin coming together. As they turn golden and fragrant, you can already see how much flavor is developing inside this simple skillet. Now I add another layer of flavor and let it cook together with the vegetables until everything becomes rich and perfectly combined. A quick taste tells me it's almost there. Just a little seasoning, one more stir, and we are ready for the next step. While the filling cooks, I start preparing a simple homemade dough. Nothing complicated, just a few ingredients and a little patience. I knead the dough gently until it becomes soft and smooth. Taking your time is what makes homemade cooking so special. Now I roll it out into an even circle, keeping the dough just thick enough to hold all that delicious filling. The dough goes into the baking dish, creating the perfect base for everything we've been cooking. Then comes the best part. I spoon the warm, flavorful filling into the center while the steam rises from the skillet. I spread the filling evenly from edge to edge, making sure every bite will have the perfect balance of crust and filling. Another layer of dough goes on top, and I gently seal the edges to keep all those wonderful flavors tucked inside. A few simple cuts across the top let the steam escape, and a light brush of egg wash will give the crust that beautiful golden finish. Into the old farmhouse oven it goes. Now we let the heat do its work while the kitchen slowly fills with the smell of homemade comfort food. While it bakes, I take a moment to clean up the kitchen. Sometimes the quiet moments between cooking are just as enjoyable as the cooking itself. While dinner finishes in the oven, I prepare a fresh side dish using crisp greens and herbs from the kitchen.
Let's make a quick side.
A simple homemade dressing brings everything together, adding a fresh contrast to the warm, rich dish waiting in the oven. And finally, it's ready. The crust is turned beautifully golden, and the aroma tells me it's time to bring it out. Look at that golden crust. The filling is still bubbling underneath, and the steam rising from it is almost impossible to resist. Now it's time to set the table. A warm homemade meal deserves a simple table, good food, and a peaceful place to enjoy it. I cut into the center and serve the first warm slice. The crust breaks perfectly, revealing all that delicious filling underneath. After all that cooking, there's only one thing left to do: take the first bite. And honestly, it was worth every minute. Sometimes the best meals are the simplest ones. Fresh ingredients, a little patience, and a quiet countryside kitchen, that's all you really need.